Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1898, The Big Reveal. So over the last couple of weeks, I have been hinting that something major was going to be happening. Zeffie and I are going on a big adventure in 2025. We are going to be moving a long way. We are going to New Zealand. So I am going to be moving back home to New Zealand to be closer to my parents and my family. After 28 years in the US, I am going home. We are super excited about this. It has been a long time in coming. Brad and I had always talked about having a place in the US and a place in New Zealand and splitting, 6 months here, 6 months down there. He wanted somewhere close to my parents so that we could, he would be Brad was happy to move in the house next door to my parents. I'm like, whatever, it'll make me happy, it'll make my parents happy and all that. But of course, that never eventuated, even though we did have the plan to do that. So, it's finally time to go home and spend some time with my parents and rekindle my relationships with my brothers and my cousins and my aunts and my uncles and even a few friends that I still have in New Zealand as well. So that's our big reveal news. It's taking place next year. Still finalizing all the dates and everything. And yes, Zeffie will be coming down with me. She has a lot of stuff to go through between now. I have to tell you, I am thankful for my friends that who are in New Zealand who had moved from the US down to New Zealand with animals. They moved with a cat and a dog. And so I was able to, and even though it was, like 8-9 years ago when they moved, I was able to get on a Zoom with them and ask them questions. And they were able to tell me the process that they went through, some of the things to expect and that sort of stuff. And I know things have changed and times have changed and all of that. So got the name of the company that they use, which has been in operation for over 40 years of helping people transport their pets around the world. They're the preferred vendor for Air New Zealand Airlines. So I'm super excited about that. Zeffie will have a whole bunch of tests coming up, making sure her vaccinations are up to date. She even has to get inspected by a USDA vet because she's considered livestock, which cracked me up. Because livestock, I normally think, cows, cows, sheep, goats, the other one's horses. But this little puppy is considered livestock, so she has to go visit a USDA vet and all of that sort of stuff. And but the company was really good about talking with me about about the whole process and everything else and putting my mind at ease. And along the way, I get updates on how Zeffie's doing and, when she's in their care in LA and when she gets on the plane. And we'll probably be apart around 2 weeks. And that's the longest that it'll be the longest that we've ever been apart, is that we will be, yes. Did you just hear that? So we'll be separated for about 2 weeks. And in the middle of that, she's got this great big long flight, which is my biggest concern with her. Being in the cargo hold in a crate for, and I don't know how long she's going to be in the crate for because I don't know when they give her a potty break before she gets loaded into the plane. And then when she gets to the other end, I don't know when she gets let out for a potty break at the other end either. But when she arrives in New Zealand, she will be met by customs and the people who are going to be quarantining her for the next 10 days. So she goes into quarantine for 10 days when she gets to New Zealand, and all going well, I get to pick her up on day 11. And I will be arriving in New Zealand on day 8 of her quarantine. So I get to catch up with my family in Auckland. My parents are going to drive up. They're actually bringing up an enclosed trailer because there is no way we are going to get my luggage and Zeffie's crate into their car. I know that, and I was even thinking about renting a minivan and driving that down. And they says, no, we'll just come up with this trailer, an enclosed trailer, and we can put everything into there. And they're like, now Zeffie doesn't have to sit in the crate in the car. I was like, no, I've got a car seat cover. So there's a lot of stuff we've got to do between now and then. I suddenly realized that, oh yeah, we have things like electrical differences. Stuff that runs on 110 here is going to be on 220 in New Zealand. Do I have what electronic stuff or electrical stuff do I have that will do the auto conversion? Like my Mac has a white box, and the white box does the power conversion. It will downgrade the 210 to the 220 down to the 110. All I need is a plug adapter. And my brothers are like, I got you hooked up. He says, I got all the cabling and stuff that you're going to need and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm going to be talking with my brother. And apparently he has this massive box of all these different cords and cables and everything. So we're going to be starting to do a lot of selling of stuff because I really don't want to take a lot of furniture down with me. I probably could, but then there's the expense of it. So I told my parents the only furniture I'm bringing with me is my bed. My mum's sort of like, you can buy a bed down here. You don't need to bring your bed. I go, yeah, I do. So my bed is, I just bought my bed last year when we moved into this house. And I said, it's a really comfortable bed. I absolutely love it. I'm not prepared to give it up when it's only 2 years old. But there's going to be a lot of stuff we've got to sell. And like I was going through, like every time I use something in the kitchen, if it's electrical and plugs in, I'm like, oh my gosh, my Vitamix. I can't take that with me, which I'm sort of like dreading because I use that daily, and I've been using it daily for like 25 or 26 years. I'm trying to remember what year I bought it. It was either 99, 2000, 2001, somewhere around that time period is when I got it. And it still goes like it's brand new. It's the only thing that's wrong with it is that it's a slightly yellow color rather than the bright white color it was when we purchased it, but it's still got the original pit. It's got the 2 blender jug things on it. The only thing we've replaced on that is the plunger that goes in the top of the jugs to push stuff down to the blades. It wasn't me, it was Brad. Somehow Brad managed to push it down far enough that it got caught in the blades one time. So we got a new one of those. But apart from that, it is still going. It's still original. So that we've got to sell. Then I was using my air fryer and I went, no, I can't take the air fryer with me. And I have to tell you, I got the air fryer when I was living in the RV, along with my Instant Pot, which is another thing I'm going to have to let go. And those 2 have been my main cooking and were my main ways of cooking food in the RV. They didn't take up much space. They had multiple functions on them, so very versatile. And when I really didn't, because I didn't know how to use my gas cooker in the RV, I still don't know how to light my gas cooker in my RV. That's getting sold too. So what's the matter, Zeffy? Zeffy's whimpering over there. And so it's sort of like, all the stuff. And I'm like, I'm really upset about my air fryer because I've got a Pampered Chef air fryer. I absolutely love that thing. It's got a door on the front instead of the drawers. And I cook most things in that. I've even stopped using my toaster because I found out the air fryer actually does really good toast and makes it nice and crunchy how I like it. So, and I'm kind of annoyed that I have to leave that behind, that I have to get rid of that. I got to get rid of the Instapot. I got to get rid of my blender. And I'm like, those are my 3 main tools in the kitchen. And I fortunately have not bought a standalone mixer. I just have a hand mixer that I use. So that one's not so bad because I've already got it on my shopping list for New Zealand to get a new mixer, to get a new air fryer. And I've been checking out the air fryers down there already, checking out the Instapots, although they call them, what do they call them? They call them something else. I can't remember what they call them. So yeah, I'm already checking out appliances down there. And yes, I can get Vitamixes down there, but it's not the big, tall, skinny jug. They're more the short, fat, squat ones. And I'm sort of like, I really like my one, but Vitamix is a Vitamix. They go and go and go and go. So, yeah, so as I'm walking around the house, I'm making a list of what I need to sell, and I'm working on a timetable of when I'm going to start selling it. So there's a lot of stuff we've got to do, and we've got about 9 months, I think it is, to get it done. My family is super excited that I'm coming home, and my mum even asked we had told her the news, told one of my brothers the news, emailed the other brother because he couldn't get on the Zoom with us. And my mum said, well, can I tell the rest of the family? I went, no, I have to tell the boys first. So we told the boys. They're sad that I'm going, but they're also excited as well. And they know for me it's the right decision because I've been away for 28 years. My parents are in their 80s, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to have them around. So I want to spend as much time with them as I can. And I've missed my family. I really miss my family, my cousins, my brothers, my nieces, my nephews, my great nieces and nephews. I'm a great aunt. Did you know that? Yes, I'm going to miss my grandkids. I'm going to miss my family here in the States. But now I've told them, he said, you're going to have a place to stay. You're going to have a reason to come to New Zealand now, and I'll be able to show you around or help you organize the trip from the New Zealand perspective and all of this sort of things. And if you need a personal guide, I'll be there for you. So Even started house hunting down there as well. I found a house that I really, 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 really liked. It sold on Sunday. I was a little upset about that, but I knew that if it wasn't available when I got down to New Zealand, it's not meant to be mine. And that's totally okay, because I know that the perfect place will be there when I get there, or not long after I get there. So yeah, super excited about that. The whole from what I'm hearing from the family, they're all excited. My oldest nephew was already planning Christmas next year, about having it at my parents' place, which is his grandmother's place. Having the whole family come to my parents' place. And I'm sort of like, yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but but they're super excited. So I'm excited to go home and see them and spend time with them. And I'm even going to be doing a video series down there, which will be called Rediscovering New Zealand. And because I've lived in so many different places around New Zealand and I've visited a majority of the country, I'm going to take you on getting reacquainted with, rediscovering New Zealand. I'm going to take you on those little journeys. And Zephy and I will be doing these little trips every now and again, and we'll go off and explore another area, and we're going to take you guys on those trips with us once we get that up. But we're going to get down there first and get settled, and then start planning these trips that we're going to do. And it's going to be a lot of fun. When I asked Zephy, I said the day I decided, I said to Zephy, I said, how would you feel about moving to New Zealand? And she was asleep. So she puts her head up, frowns at me, looks at me, puts her head back down, and goes back to sleep. That was as much as she had. So we've been talking about all the fun stuff. The walks we'll be able to go on, because we don't have dangerous animals and poisonous stuff in the forests down there when we can go bushwalking and stuff, and which has stopped me from doing hikes and stuff over here because of snakes and scorpions and other wild animals. I hear you, sweet girl. So that's our big news, is that we're moving home to New Zealand next year. We'll keep you posted on details as they come up. But for now, we've got Zephy is going to be starting her process soon. The company was actually surprised I contacted them so early in the process. And I said, well, I'm reverse engineering. I picked my dates and looking at, what's it going to cost to do this? What's it going to, getting the budget in place and figuring out what's it going to cost to do this, and this. And let's start reverse engineering. How long do I have to get to that point? What do I need to do back here? So reverse engineering. This is the end goal here, is moving to New Zealand, getting the movers in and that sort of thing. And then it is, I got to sell my washing machine and dryer. I just thought of that one. That's only going to be 2 years old when I sell it as well. What else? Yeah. So looking at what is the goal for us to get, what's it going to take for us to get to New Zealand, and then working backwards on a timeline and budgets and inquiring about with companies and sorting through the moving companies and all of that sort of stuff. How long is it going to take my stuff to get to New Zealand? I have no idea. That's one thing I still have to find out. So so there's going to be some major stuff going on in this house over the next few months, as we start really paring down stuff. Even clearing one of my rooms, my craft room. I'm actually going to clear that out, and the only stuff allowed in that room is the stuff that's going to New Zealand. And nothing can go in that room unless it's going to New Zealand, and that's just for things that goes in boxes, except for the kitchen stuff, because I'm still using that. So, and then at some point we'll get a moving company in here to get quotes. We'll get moving companies in here to get quotes. About packing the stuff, getting them working on a timetable for them to come in and pack the stuff, then pick the stuff up, and then ship it down to New Zealand. How long is it going to take, and blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff. So Mum and Dad are excited as well. They've even said I can take over their third bedroom, because I'll be sleeping in the second bedroom. I can take over the third bedroom as my office. Nothing changes on my work schedule, except all the stuff I normally do for clients in the morning, I'll be doing in the afternoon New Zealand time. And I'll still be able to do all the jobs that I'm doing now. It's just going to shift a little on the timetable. So like the help chat, I was talking with my boss this morning, and I said to her, I'll still be able to work. I said, I'll be working a Tuesday through Saturday, but I can still work. And she's like, we can deal with that. Instead of working Monday through Friday, I'll be working Tuesday through Saturday. And she said, well, what time would you be getting on online? I says, either 6, 7, or 8 a.m. in the morning, and I'll be done by lunchtime. So, and then I have the afternoon to work on my clients' projects as well. So, I'm becoming a digital nomad. I can work, as long as I have internet connection, I can work from anywhere. There are some mornings I'm going to have to get up like at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for an 8 a.m. start over here Pacific time, but that's okay. It's 3 times a month, I think it worked out. I can handle that. And at the end of the day, I can just go take a nap and get up, carry on with my day, and go to bed as normal at night. So next year, heading to New Zealand. So everything we're going to be doing now, and the question, whenever I'm making a decision about something, is this going to get me closer to moving to New Zealand? If not, I'm not doing it. But if it's a project I can do that does, then yes, we will do that. So that's our big reveal, our big announcement. There's more coming along the way. But for now, that is our big announcement, that we're heading home to New Zealand in 2025. And we're going to bring you guys along on the journey, on the preparation work that we have to do, all of the vet visits that Zephy's going to. But the cool part is that the company I'm going to be working with, one, they've been in business for over 40 years. They are the preferred pet transport for Air New Zealand Air New Zealand Airlines, and they do everything. The only thing I have to do is give them my vet's name and number so they can call and get her records, and then take her in. And then I have to find and set up appointments with different vets to get her all her certifications and everything else, and have testing done and all that sort of thing in advance, because there's certain tests that she has to do. And then in the last 30 days before she flies, there's 3 vaccinations she has to have. One, she's got to have within 30 days of flying. The other one, she's got to have 2 weeks prior to flying. And then she's got to have a booster of one of those like 4 days before her flight. That's the only thing I have to do, is make sure she organize the vet appointments, pay for all of those, and the testing and stuff. Everything else they take care of all the paperwork. They book the quarantine. There's a comfort care kit that they have for the animals, that you can actually track them in their journey, and they give you updates on their status and everything else. And then the quarantine place at the other end will send me daily emails with photos and videos of Zephy, along with a report of how she did that day. So my only concern is her on that flight. That's my only concern. And I'm hoping, and I'm already starting the prayers for that, to build them up for, just to calm me down and to calm her down, because I know she'll pick up on the anxiety and all of that sort of thing. So that's our big news. And with that, we're going to go for a walk. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll be back here tomorrow evening